originality you couldn't copy. Blood thick, looked like something you would put in potting. I took Miss Cosby to the pudding party. And the pudding get a good and groggy. Pill strong, Hercules, Percolates. I've been burning trees before I learned to breathe. Do my dirt and street, go to church and preach. When I pass the plate, empty out your purses, please. You gotta pay me to work for free. I'm the influencer like the bird disease. For the birds and bees. Room, break water, I emerge in seas. Tall, dark, fine in a water sign. I should have been born in Nicaragua. Always got a bottle with me. Big baby bottle wanna bye-bye. What's good, peoples? It's your boy Elevated Ace. And I'm here to pass down the knowledge of the information that I resonate with to help those that seek spiritual enlightenment. Put my foot on dirt. You will put in purse. I put in work. Yeah, I put in work. I put in work. Yeah, I put in work. Then I shook a church. Senator Satan couldn't hurt. I was looking hurt. Now I got the cushion perk back when it's perk. Never seen a wave that I couldn't surf. With a Uzi, I'ma hit him first. Instead of jumping, I'll levitate and drop. Who the devil when the elevator stop? So I went and made a clock to a renovated yacht. Even as I would never play a lot. Self-educated toddler that to entertain a rock. My face fixate paint a decorated thought. Alright, let me stop all of this. I never say a lot. Then invent a way to not. Anthony Paul Kane, Roy Kane. Alright, y'all, it's my boy Cambada, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Cambada out there doing it real big and shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, alright, now let's get to this work. Let's get to this work. Let's get this work done, alright, y'all? This right here, we're going to dive straight into it, alright? We're going to talk about, this is going to be the houses, astrology houses part 2, but this right here is actually dealing with the transits, alright? This is going to be dealing with the transits. A couple of disclaimers, you know what I'm saying? A couple of things I want to put out there. First, I want to give a shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Dolo, you know, Flight Boss, you know what I'm saying? Subconscious community, you know, Soul Group. What's good, what's good? That's what's up. Second, I want to break a couple of things down real quick before we get started. All right, now, you know, this is my astrology, you know what I'm saying, edition. You know, I'm going to be breaking down a lot of videos on astrology and giving you out a step-by-step, you know what I'm saying, so you can get to learn astrology, you know what I'm saying. First, I want to start off by saying that astrology is about the being that we are in, right? Astrology is about the being that we are in. So now we're going to break down the word being, right? So we are considered human beings, right? Human beings, right? So when you break the word down etymology-wise, you know what I'm saying, you get being, right? So what is being, basically? Being is you being something, you know what I'm saying? And remember I was telling y'all that the spirit ain't no thing, you know what I'm saying? That's the information, you know what I'm saying, that I picked up and that I resonated with, you know what I'm saying, dealing with Dolo, Flight Boss. That's my spirit guide, you know what I'm saying? So I got to shout out, you know what I'm saying, to show love to the people that passed the information down to me. And I'm not the one to go out there putting out intellectual properties, you know what I'm saying, not shouting out to people that, you know what I'm saying, I was introduced to that had the information for me. So let's get that out the way. Now, astrology is about the being that we are in. The 360 wheel, that pie wheel I was telling y'all about, the 12 houses, you know what I'm saying? That's the being that we are in. Basically, you got a solar system, right? Now, let's talk about the being now. Remember, I tell you, the spirit is no thing, right? So, in order for the spirit to have an experience, you know what I'm saying, it had to break loose, you know what I'm saying, and dive into. So, the spirit had to become something. You know what I'm saying? So the spirit is being. So the spirit is not what you're seeing now. The spirit is being. So a human being. So you're not a human being. You are being human. You understand? You're being human because you are the spirit, and the spirit is no thing. You know what I'm saying? No shape or form. So in order for the spirit to be seen and express itself, it had to become something. And basically, you know, as soon as it decided to, you know, resonate and once that spirit decided to resonate on his thoughts, basically the spirit is living in its own imagination. You know what I'm saying? So that's the spirit being. So we are not human beings. You know what I'm saying? We are being human. Your spirit is being human, but it's not human. You know what I'm saying? It's not being. I mean, it is being, but it's no thing. You know what I'm saying? So we are in a being right now. We are living inside of a being right now. And this being that we are living in order to have a system, right? It has to have a solar system. The solar system are the planets, you know what I'm saying, that are rotating around. We're rotating around the sun, they say, or, we're just rotating, right? Rotation. So in that rotation, you got the solar system. That solar system is a soul, In order for it to be a system, it has to have a solar system. So you have a solar system within inside of you. You know what I'm saying? The universe, basically, that's the being. You have a whole universe inside of you as well. You have a solar system inside of you. That's how you're able to, operate your whole body as one. But you're a whole collective of cells. You know what I'm saying? Your body is a whole collective of cells that's all working together, you know what I'm saying, to form certain body parts and pieces and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So you are a whole universe. You feel me? And the blood cells and stuff inside of you are looking at you just like how we are inside this being right now, looking at this being from the inside out. The being that we live in is just so big, it's so much bigger than us that we perceiving it from the inside. You understand? So that's being. So we are being human. All right? Let's get that straight. You're not a fucking human being. Your spirit is no shape or form or no thing. So you are being human. So basically, astrology is based upon the being that we are in. All right? Let's get that out the way. And I wrote some notes down here because I want to be, direct, and I want my stuff to be, nice and clean, and I don't want to leave nothing out. You know what I'm saying? So I write my stuff down. You know what I'm saying? We teach how we teach. Whatever works for you works for you. I like to write my stuff down to get a clear cut view and bullet points on what I want to bring to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I don't leave nothing out. All right. And I know y'all remember that cat on Men in Black, right? Remember that cat on Men in Black had that little chain around his neck, you know what I'm saying, with that little emblem, that little piece on there, that little piece that he had on it was a whole universe inside that little piece. So universe is not, it don't have to be grand and big as you can see it now, you know what I'm saying. Universe could be something that's small. So you have a universe inside of you. You are a verse, universe. And the universe, that we are inside right now, the name is Draco. Draco is the being that we are inside. And inside Draco is another being, you know what I'm saying, in our galaxy with a solar system, and that's the being that we are inside. So we're like a smaller part of a bigger type of, system going on here, solar system. Let's see if I touched on everything on that now. All right, what else? Okay, so let's start to break it down now. Transits, right? We're going to break down transits, okay? And this is dealing with, let me break it down what transits is. Basically, excuse me. Transits are the movement of the planets through the astrological houses, okay? So the movement of the planets through the astrological houses, through those 12 houses. They call the 12 houses the ecliptic, okay? All right. The transits are used to determine your birth charts. So if you wanted to do the birth charts, your transits are what pinpoint and locate the energies that are at play as far as your solar system inside of you. So the transits use and determine your birth charts. They also influence an individual according to the house placement and angles or aspects. Let me go over that again. They also influence an individual according to the house placement and angles or aspects. Aspects is just another way of saying angles. So depending on where the planets are at, they angle each other in a certain type of angle. And depending on how they angle each other in the houses, or depending on what kind of influences that you're going to be getting from these planets. If there's going to be is it going to be a square? Is it going to be a rough transition? Is it going to be a smooth transition? You know what I'm saying? So now 3. The most important transits or planets in your birth chart would be the sun, your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign, also called the ascendant sign. So that's the 3 most important that you should definitely know in order to get a full understanding about what one's character is. You want to know the 3 most important planets in astrology. So you got a lot of people going by just what sign they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Aquarius. But I also, now dealing with the transits now, my sun sign is Aquarius. My moon sign is Cancer. My rising sign, ascendant sign, is Taurus. Now, when you bring those three together, you know what I'm saying, you get a more full detailed, you know, of a person's character. So these three planet placements will give you a more in-depth definition of your astrological makeup or who you are or appear to be. Okay? All right, now, the other four planets are basically just like your tools. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in astrology, you know, we add Pluto in there, but they saying Pluto is not a planet no more because it's so far off. You know what I'm saying? So they don't even count that as a planet no more. That's like a distant relative. You know what I'm saying? That's doing its own thing. But it's really 7 planets right now in our solar system. You know what I'm saying? And that right there goes into my next thing about the chakras. Okay, so these planets make up our solar system. Okay, esoterically speaking, your chakras. All right. I'm gonna touch a little bit more on that, you know what I'm saying, in another video. But I want to keep it, you know what I'm saying, strictly on part 2 of the houses and aspects, you know what I'm saying. But, you know, dealing with the chakras, the 7 chakras, the 7 energy points, 7 energy vortexes that we all have. That's what the 7 planets are. There are 7 influences, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the subconscious, dealing with the emotions, all right? Now, as a planet moves through one of the astrological houses, we all are influenced by the energies of that transition. Okay, as a planet moves through one of the astrological houses, we all are influenced by the energies of that transition. So we get influenced by the planets moving in certain houses, different locations, and they move, you know, every day you got a planet moving. It's always in rotation. It's always, you know, they're always moving through these astrological houses, planets, you know what I'm saying? Some planets take a day to go through the house. Some planets take a week to go through a house. Some planets take a year. Some planets take 30 years to move through one house, okay? Now, depending on your rising sign will determine your house placement. Basically, your blueprint, you know what I'm saying, on how you was created, you know, astrologically, you know, your astrological makeup. Now, depending on your rising sign will determine your house placement. Basically, your blueprint, all right? When I mean now, your rising sign or descendant will be your first house. You would count that as your first. So your rising is your first house. All right. So let's say you have a Cancer rising, right? Cancer would be your first house. Right. Now, let's not get, you know, the houses and the signs confused. You know what I'm saying? So the first house is always going to represent the self. All right. So your rising would be Cancer. Cancer would be your first house. The first house is always the first house energy no matter what. So the first house always dealing with the self. I broke that down in my last video. The first house is always dealing with the self, the personality. You know what I'm saying? Your rising sign, the personality. All right? So if you have Cancer in the first house, then basically, if you have Cancer in the first house, then you most likely will have a personality of a Cancer. Your personality will be Cancer-like, which is cardinal water. A Cancer is cardinal water, dealing with the modalities. You know, you got cardinal, fixed, and mutable. All right. So if you have Cancer in the first house, then you most likely will have a personality of a Cancer, which is cardinal water. And cardinal water of a Cancer is basically, the characteristics of that is initiating new ways on how to deal with their feelings and emotions. So that's what Cancers do. They initiate new ways of how to deal with the feelings and the emotions, because water deals with the feelings and the emotions. That's what water signs deal with. All right. Now, with that